Yo, what is going on, my faithful traders? What's going on, everybody? So today I'm going to give you guys so much free applesauce, so much free sauce in this video. This is a play I have in the playbook on my community. I wanted to give it to you guys away for free today. So absolutely free. Just hang out, watch the video, and I want you guys to comment, God is good. That's it. Comment, God is great. If God has always been in your life, always taken care of you, always watched over you. And I just pray that today you look back in your life and you look back in your past and you see how much God has always been there for you. So just comment, God is great. And let's get this video started. This is going to be an incredible video for the people who are struggling with their trading. They don't know how to identify market trends. They don't know how to identify what they should do. They feel like every time they get in on a trade, the trade goes against them. They don't know where to enter, where to exit, what the market is trying to really print for that day. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of examples. Now, of course, this is not a perfect strategy, right? Don't bet the farm on this strategy. It's just one of my plays in the playbook. If you guys want to learn and watch me trade live, come on over to the school community. Link will be in the description. So let's get right into the video. I don't want to waste any more time. I want to give you guys this beautiful strategy so that you guys can implement it and start making money. So we're at the charts. There's a few rules that you need to know with this strategy, okay? It works really good on YM and NQ. Those are the two pairs that I love to use it on. YM and NQ typically move the best. YM is a little bit better if you are trading a prop firm account because you're not going to risk, all $2,000, or you can go down to like micro NQ. That is also a great strategy. I tell a lot of people who are in my community, go down to the micros. Do not risk blowing a prop account on any strategy. It does not matter, okay? Now, I've had great success the last 2 weeks doing this strategy, just waiting for the first 15 to print, going down to the 1 minute. As you guys can see here, I've got the 15 and the 1 minute on YM ready to go. So rule number one is look at it on NQ and on YM, see which one is moving better or more cohesively, and that's where you're going to add into it or you're going to take that trade. Rule number two, make sure there's no news in the trading hours. So like, for example, Friday, there was news at like 9:45, 10 o'clock. I did not take this trade at those times. I took a 9:30, which was a different play I have in the playbook. I took those trades instead. So all you guys got to do realistically is just make sure there's no news. Make sure you are waiting to see which one prints better, whether it's NQ or YM. Whatever one is more engulfing is going to be the better one in my opinion. And then of course, rule number three, I'm only risking roughly about half of the candle on the 15 minute, and I'm going to be scalping it. So for me, I'm what I call myself, I'm a hyper scalper. I'm not going to hold these trades forever. I'm going to hold them for literally 10, 20, 30 seconds until I see that P&L big green or even decently green. I'm going to execute that trade and get out the minute that prints essentially in my favor. So those are the rules. Remember, YM NQ, if you don't have, I would recommend everybody go to the micros, especially if you're trading on prop firms, don't want to blow any accounts. Step number two, make sure there's no news, right, in the area of that. So no 9 a.m., no 9:30, 10 o'clock news. And number three is make sure that it is completely engulfing, right? So I'm going to show you some examples here that I lined up that I like a lot. And of course, there's going to be days where it doesn't work. That's what I always tell you guys. Make sure you have a good risk to reward management strategy. Make sure you have good risk management. Do not be betting your whole prop firm, your whole account on one trade and pray that it goes 200 points in your favor. And then the minute it reverses, you're like, oh man, what happened? Okay. So I just wanted, like I said, this is a free play that I give out to you guys. I just wanted to help you guys out in the YouTube community and the people who watch me on YouTube and always show so much support. So I pray that you guys continue to like, comment, subscribe, and watch these videos. Hopefully I can give you guys some free education today. So let's get into example number one. Example number one is a bit of a scalp heavy one, but I wanted to show you one that doesn't work out perfectly, right? I'm not going to just cherry pick and say, oh, this is the exact perfect one. Remember, this strategy only has about maybe an 80% win rate. Now I say only 80%. 80% is great for most of you guys who are like 20, 30% win rate traders, but this is about, I would say, an 80%. I've been testing it on my other account when I've been trading live. I've been doing this in the live markets, and I'm just going for a quick scalp on it, making a couple grand here, a couple grand there. I'm not holding this position assuming I've caught the trend for the day. Remember, that's the big thing too, and maybe I should make that as point number four. Rule number four is that you're not going to be assuming you caught the trend for the day. All you're going to be doing is waiting to see if it moves any more in this direction. So first and foremost, all we're going to look for a part of it is we're going to go on the 15 minute. I like to have a 15 and a 1 minute up to make sure I'm trying to get as little drawdown as possible. So I'm going to look here on the 15. I'm waiting for the first 15-minute candle to form. Remember, today, this was on the 21st, so literally 2 days ago. I'm going to be looking at the first 15 to see how it's forming. This first 15 formed. hyper bearish. So you guys can see here, let me actually pull this a little bit and we'll zoom in a little bit more. You guys can see it right here. Let me make sure I'm on OBS. Yep. Okay. 945 formed completely, almost, you know, we have a little bit of a wick down here to the bottom. Nothing crazy, right? If it was like a doji or a hammer or anything like that, I wouldn't have taken the trade, but it needs to be where it's like essentially an engulfing, whether it's bullish or bearish. You want to just see a massive candle that holds that direction. The minute this 15 forms, I'm going to then come down here to the 1 minute, right? All I want to see next is a red or a green, depending on where we're going. So for this example, I'm going with the bears. I'm going to go with a short, and I'm just going to wait to see, does the 945 or 946 print a bearish candle to then continue the downtrend, right? We can look here, 945. We can see that, yes, we are still overall in a downtrend. So we have rejection point 1, rejection point 2. We kind of go sideways down here at this support and resistance, but still 945 still printed overall, still printed a red bearish candle. I'm going to take the short here. I'm going to essentially risk probably 20 to 30% depending on the day. I mean, even this, I could have risked like 50% of this candle, but thankfully it worked out in my favor. Like I said, we're just going to look here at 945. I'm going to risk from this 945 point probably to the last rejection point up here. We can look at that and say, okay, that's about 37 points on YM. That's closer to maybe like, you know, I don't know, 15, 20 points on NQ. I can't do the math off the top of my head, but we're just doing the YM examples. But NQ, same thing, but you have to be really careful with NQ. I recommend, like I said, if you're trading, going to do this on the micros. Do this with like 2 to 3 micros, because on the 15 minute, you got to remember that this thing can rip against you, right? These candles are, on NQ specifically, they're huge candles. So just be careful. Go on the micros. Back to the example. Okay, so back to the example, right? We're here, 945. I'm going to risk back up here, about 37 points, and I'm just looking for a scalp. I want to see if we hold this downtrend and break under, right? So I risked roughly 37 points. This would have been a 98 point total. Now, the minute this giant red candle came here on the 1 minute, all I'm going to be doing is break even. So let's pretend that this is my action line here where I got in on the shorts. I'm going to immediately move this thing all the way down, and no matter what, lock in some profits. No matter what, after this 1 minute closed all the way down here, I would have just dragged my break even. I would have dragged it all the way down here. No matter what, I would have caught myself 63 points. A nice 1 to 2 risk to reward. Very simply just waiting for the first 15. Remember, this is not even the best example. There are better examples out there, and there's also worse examples out there. This is why I always tell you guys, do not bet the house, don't bet the farm, don't blow your account, but just be patient, wait for the 15 to form, and then wait for the 1 minute to give you some sort of confirmation. And like I said, I wanted to do this with no indicators, maybe make it super, super simple for you guys. So let's go over to the next example. Example number 2, really not another great example. I'm trying to actually pick examples that don't work out that great, because I want to show you guys that trading isn't as cookie cutter as a lot of people say. There is no 100% guarantee. I have so many people who've joined the community and they're like, hey, you know, I want a 100% win rate account. I want 100. There's no such thing. No matter how good your strategy is, there's going to be times where it's that 20, 30%, you will blow and lose accounts. You will lose money. You will, if you over leverage, you will lose money. It's a part of trading. There, even the next guy, it doesn't matter. ICT, smart money concepts, it doesn't matter. Trading you will blow money. It's a part of the job. So get comfortable now in knowing that it's a part of this job and just call it a day. That truly is the way it is. That's it. So I'm going to give you guys another example that's not perfect. This is a couple of days ago as well. We got the 945 open, right? Overly bullish, right? Remember, overly bullish. So I'm going to assume that buyers are in control here at 945. I'm going to essentially be buying the top here, risking about 50%, maybe even more depending on where this candle is. So even maybe down here to this like red candle down here, you know, going to be risking quite a bit. So this would have been, I would have put it to the top of that. So like 60 points. Now, the only way I could have essentially not risk as much is once again you wait for the pullback, or you wait to see if there's any more green continuation candles on a smaller time frame. Remember, I did this on the 1 minute. I would actually be doing this on the seconds chart, and then I would also be adding a million, like I would be adding into this. I would be DCAing essentially into this trade, waiting for the move to continue back up in this candle direction. So here in the example, like I said, once again, not a great example, but still great play for people to add that are just massively confused in their trading, right? 945 here. We can go to 945 here, right? Candle is red on the 1 minute. Bang, giant red candle again. Nothing, 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 nothing. Our first ever engulfing green candle here at 950. Yeah. Okay. So first candle here at 950, we could have then executed right here off of this, and you would have been up 13 points. You could have easily, if you wanted to, scalped this, went to break even, or just held this trade. Like I said, for me, I'm comfortable, very comfortable, risking about 50% of this candle here on the 15 minutes. So I would have risked, like I said, even maybe a little bit more, about 60 points. I could have essentially risked a lot less if I waited here on the 1 minute, bought here, and I would have only been risking about 39 points. Now, the minute I start seeing more green, like if I start looking here, if we zoom in on the 1 minute, the more I'm going to start seeing, 950 here, 954, then bang, right here at 1001, the candle just forming, still holding up, trying to hold up this uptrend, and we're not dumping all the way back down, overly correcting. I'm going to just keep holding out, in anticipation this thing wants to pull up. Now, there is going to be a time where like this doesn't work. Where are you going to get out? You need to know when you look at the 15, like where am I going to get out, right? Are you going to get out at the 40, 50% mark? Are you going to get out at a complete one-to-one reversal? So if this candle here formed all the way back down on the 15, are you going to get out there? Are you going to DCA? You need to know where to go, where to get out. For me, like I said, I'm going to wait for the 15 to form. I'm going to wait to see if I see some sort of pullback. It came in a pullback here. Then I'm going to just wait for an engulfing green candle to show that there is buyers still active at these levels, trying to push this thing back up, and just obviously waiting. I've got stops probably down here. I'd have to have stops at the last bounce. So somewhere in this zone. And you can remember, you can always look at the 1 minute and say, okay, we've got a bounce here, continuation here, second bounce here. So we should, in theory, continue pushing on the 1 minute to the higher time frames on like the 15 and just wait it out, right? And then you can hold this, you can scalp this, right? If it was me personally, I would have been up these 12, 13 points, and I would have been like, cool beans, like I'm good. Caught myself whatever the amount was, but if it was $200, $500, $1,000, scalp that and been happy with it, right? It doesn't always have to be a trade where you're like, oh, the 15 is green, no matter what, it's going to go this, or it's red, it's going to go this, no matter what. You have to adjust accordingly, and if the market is going to give you a break and say, oh, okay, here it is, like here's your break, bam, here's 15 points, take those 15 points. You guys will not go broke taking points off the table, taking money off the table. I know I've built literally my entire trading career doing this, just taking a few points, and just letting them compound over time. I'm not trying to catch 200 points in a single day every single day, because I just know it's not feasible. It's not going to happen. But I know that I can come into the market with almost a 95% chance that I'd be able to catch at least 5 to 10 points every single day and just rinse and repeat that. Remember? So that's all I want to show you guys. I want to tell you guys that you don't need to have 100% win rate, catch 1 to 50 risk rewards to be profitable in trading. You can catch 10, 20 points consistently every single day by just mastering one style of trading and just make money doing it. That's all it takes. Let's go over now to example 3. Example number 3. Now this one is a good one. Now this one right here was a good one. I cherry picked this one, but this one's still overall great trade. So as you guys can see now, you should start understanding the process. You wait for the first 15-minute candle. We look on the 1 minute to try to get a better, more accurate sniper entry, right? So we can look here. Let's go back through it. 15-minute, 9:45, the first 15 minutes of market open. Candle closes, pretty red. We do have a massive wick here that we have to be a little bit afraid of, but still great example that this thing essentially, you got to remember, we zoom out a little bit. Pre-market, the London and Asian session, we're just constantly trying to push this thing down. We had a massive correction here at New York Open. I'm sorry, massive, not correction, but continuation to that downside. So we look here at 9:45. We're going to go down to the 1 minute. So see, look, we see this thing bouncing back, pulling back, bam, right here, 9:45, another red candle above that, big, trying to be continuing to that downside. All we're going to do here, 9:45 closes. We're in a red candle. Now, you could have waited till 9:46 if you really wanted to, just to make sure. So even if you didn't, I'm saying for me personally, I'm going to enter here at 9:45, risking once again about 50%. Now, we already retraced here on the 1 minute very nicely. So we're going to go from here. We're going to essentially put our stops right above this last higher low. So we're going to put our stops right there. about 30 points, and I'm going to actually put a really clean TP right down here. This was the bounce, right? This is the bounce. There was a lot of selling pressure, but also a decent amount of buying pressure to make this thing bounce. So it's either one way or the other, right? The market's either got to move up or down. If I'm looking at the 15, my correlation is going to be, okay, we've got a massive downtrend. 15 is red bearishly engulfing. I'm going to look now in the 1 minute, and I'm going to say, oh, okay, here it is, 945 formed red. I'm going to risk to the last high right here, get in this trade, go all the way back down to the bounce, caught yourself about 70 points. Now, this has just happened to be one of those beautiful days where it's like this thing moved, literally, this thing moved from the 15-minute closure, and it encapsulated all that wick, and it just kept moving down. It ended up moving like 220 points. My thing to you guys is, my advice to you guys is, you don't need to capture, once again, 1,000,000 points. Yes, it moved down 200 points, but all you need is 5 to 10 points a day on those prop firms, on your small accounts, whatever it is, just to make that money back, right? All I'm trying to do is give you guys a clean trading strategy that doesn't really necessarily need indicators. And of course, we can add more confluences. I have a different one that's similar to this, but you add like delta and order flow, but it's too complicated for 99% of people. I trade what I call dumb money trading, right? There's smart money, there's ICT concepts. I trade Tony's dumb money trading, which is essentially just, hey, I see big red, I see big green. I look on the 1 minute, I click the button. Can I make 20 points, 30 points, 40 points with a clean cut? You know, especially like in this example is why I cherry picked this example, was because there's already a bounce. So we know there's a potential for a TP down there. That's it. That's all I'm waiting for. I know that there's a lot of juice down there, and I want to target that area for liquidity. That is it. I mean, that's really as simple as it gets. I honestly pray that you guys enjoyed this video. I wanted to give you guys some free juice here on YouTube. So if you guys enjoyed it, please comment below that you found something out of. So that's it. That is it. This is the 15-minute basic dumb money trading. This is actually how I was growing a second account to a large sum just past like 2 weeks doing this. And I've done this live on a second account, not my main account, but I'm going to be actually doing this video for you guys as well on a prop firm. So if you guys want to see me do this on a prop firm, please comment below. You'd love to see it. Type God is great, because God is great every single day. And I just pray that each and every single one of you stop worshiping anything but God. I know I worshiped money for a long time. Now I'm very blessed to be in a spot that I'm very financially successful, and that's due to God. That's not due to me. That's not due to how much I worked. That's not due to anything other than God blessing me and opening that door. And I pray that He opens that door for you, but you have to seek Him first. That's why my quote for the community is seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all else will be granted upon you. So trust in God, know who God is, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, that what Jesus told us is the truth, and that the Holy Spirit lives in you every single day. I will see you guys later in the next YouTube video. God bless.